I'm Sage, and welcome back to the Monday Minute. Actress Krysten Ritter shared part of the Daredevil Born Again Season 2 trailer that has not been made available to the public on her Instagram and then took it down. The footage was shown to fans in attendance at New York Comic-Con and was meant to stay in the room. Of course, people downloaded the footage before Ritter took it down and shared it across the internet. In the clip, we get our first look at the return of Ritter as Jessica Jones, D'Onofrio's Kingpin, Wilson Bethel's Bullseye, and Deborah Ann Wall's Karen Page. We also see both Daredevil and Jessica Jones taking on some bad guys, beating some people up, and of course, the obligatory shot of Daredevil yelling with no context. Daredevil Born Again Season 2 is coming March 2026, and I cannot wait. So excited. Disney Plus has listed Daredevil Born Again Season 2 for March the 4th, 2026, which is precisely 1 year after Season 1 premiered. So we now have Wonder Man in January for the winter, Daredevil in March for the spring, X-Men 97 is supposedly coming summer 2026, and your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man is coming in fall 2026. That leaves winter 2026 for Vision Quest, unless they're going to have two of these shows running at the same time, which is possible, but not likely. I did not forget about the Punisher special presentation, but we know less about that than anything else that we have coming out for the MCU in 2026. Based on how the Punisher special presentation story is positioned, it can come out either between Daredevil Born Again Season 2 and Spider-Man Brand New Day, or it can come after Brand New Day. Since we know that the Punisher is going to show up in both Season 2 of Daredevil and Brand New Day. Either way, we do know that Season 2 of Born Again will have 8 episodes, and that Charlie Cox's Man Without Fear will be joined by Krysten Ritter making her return as the amazingly grumpy superpowered PI Jessica Jones. They will be joined by D'Onofrio's Mayor Wilson Fisk, aka the Kingpin, Deborah Ann Wall's Karen Page, John Bernthal's Punisher, Wilson Bethel as Bullseye, and somehow Eldon Henson's Foggy Nelson. We also know that Daredevil Born Again has already been greenlit for Season 3 to premiere sometime in 2027. We got our first look at Sadie Sink on the set of Spider-Man Brand New Day, and it comes courtesy of Unbox PhD on X, aka Twitter. In the photo, Sink is wrapped in a beige hoodie talking to director Destin Daniel Cretton. Tom Holland was also spotted on set filming a scene in costume on wires, which is welcome news after he suffered a mild concussion back in September. It's still not known who Sadie Sink is playing in Brand New Day. There have been rumors that she could be playing Jean Grey, Jackpot, Black Cat, a different version of Mary Jane Watson, Mayday Parker, or even Punisher ally Rachel Cole Alves. Liza Colin-Zayas and Tremel Tillman were also added to the cast earlier this year, with people hoping they are portraying the parents of a young Miles Morales. Brand New Day is also significant in that it marks the MCU film debut of John Bernthal's Punisher character after spending years playing the character on Daredevil and on his own Netflix show. Brand New Day will be the last film in Phase 6 of the MCU before Avengers Doomsday and will open in theaters July 31st, 2026. The only person I want Sadie Sink to be playing is Firestar. That's it. If she's playing anybody else, I'm less interested. I think Firestar is the coolest option. Mayday Parker might be cool. If they're trying to set up the alternate universes for Doomsday, then Mayday Parker would also be a cool thing. But Firestar is just cooler to me. During the Matrix reunion panel at New York Comic-Con, actor Laurence Fishburne expressed interest in playing Professor Charles Xavier in the MCU. While on stage, Fishburne asked the audience in attendance what they thought about him playing Professor X, which was met with cheers and applause. Professor Charles Xavier, the leader of the X-Men and founder of Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters, was previously portrayed during the Fox era by Sir Patrick Stewart and later by James McAvoy. Fishburne has appeared in the Marvel Cinematic Universe before, playing Dr. Bill Foster in the movie Ant-Man and the Wasp and the animated series What If. He also voiced the Norrin Radd Silver Surfer in Fox's 2007 film Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. James Gunn replied to a fan on Threads who asked if he had noticed the criticism of the show's second season and finale. Gunn's reply was, "Definitely. Not everyone can love everything. I love the episode, but I understand not everyone does, which is completely fair." This is going to be my opinion from here on out. This is one of the better answers I think a creative person can give to someone criticizing their work. I mean, after you've put out multiple things into the universe, you have to realize that not everyone is going to like everything that you do, you know. I personally thoroughly enjoyed Peacemaker Season 2. I'm a big fan of James Gunn's storytelling and directing. It speaks to me, but I also definitely respect and appreciate other people who have a different opinion than me. It's not a big deal as far as I'm concerned. I actually like the dialogue. I thought the second season of Peacemaker was really good. Especially the elevation of the acting of Jennifer Holland and John Cena. Watching them just grow as actors was amazing in the second season. Just the interrogation room scene alone in episode 6, I believe it was, between Harcourt and Chris, where they're going through their emotions. That's probably one of the best scenes acted I've seen between two people in a very long time. I was running around screaming how I thought that Jennifer Holland should be getting some type of something for that scene. I don't know what award you can give for one scene, but I also think that she elevated her game to a completely different level in the second season. Again, along with John Cena. John Cena has as well. And I was never really worried about the ending because of all of the research that I do for this channel and for this show. I already knew that James Gunn had said that we would see those characters again sometime in the future in different projects, that it just wouldn't be Peacemaker Season 3 right now. He never said that he was never going to do Peacemaker Season 3. He just said he wasn't going to do it right away, which makes sense because he wrote and he's directing Man of Tomorrow. So he has to deal with that first. And then he can probably loop back around to Peacemaker Season 3. But I think it's even cooler than people realize because based on the epilogue of the finale episode, we're going to see Peacemaker probably in Man of Tomorrow. So I was never worried about that. And I also thought that we would maybe see a Checkmate series come out of it, which is way cooler to me than just, following just Peacemaker. And Peacemaker's a part of Checkmate at this point. James Gunn also said that we would see the planet Salvation again. And since Peacemaker was left on Salvation, I just figured that we would see Peacemaker again in Man of Tomorrow. That he's not going to kill off one of his favorite characters in an epilogue at the end of a finale. Also, the 11th Street Kids being the creators of Checkmate in this universe is one of the coolest things that could have happened because it now makes them bigger players in the world of the DCU. They're forming the beginning of what in the comics becomes a global espionage spy organization, which is cool. I don't know what level James Gunn is going to take them in his DCU. Even if they just become a multinational organization, that's still so many cool seasons of a potential series that you can have just from that. So I think that is really cool, and I think it has a lot of potential. And you don't think that Harcourt, Adebayo, and Vigilante are going to go looking for their friend? They're definitely going to go find out where Peacemaker is. Somebody on Argus is going to talk, and they're going to know where Peacemaker is after a while. It should be noted that James Gunn has said that his original ending for Peacemaker Season 2 was the montage of them setting up Checkmate and the reveal that what they had set up was checkmate. That was supposed to be the ending that he wanted to go with. But when his business partner and co-CEO of DC, we have to remind you, he has power. His friend and co-CEO of DC, Peter Safran, told him to put the epilogue with Peacemaker being left on Planet Salvation, to put it back into the show because James Gunn had originally taken it out. So James Gunn actually wanted to end the episode on a happy note, and Peter Safran said, no, let's just leave Peacemaker. Let's do the epilogue. I keep calling it epilogue because that's basically what it is. If you see the episode, it does feel like the episode was supposed to end with the checkmate reveal, and then the epilogue of Peacemaker being thrown on Salvation came after. What I do agree with people on who are criticizing the final episode, I 100% agree with you on the characterization of Rick Flag Sr. That's definitely not Rick Flag Sr. There's absolutely no way that the guy that we've seen in Creature Commandos, and even at the beginning of this show and in Superman, would allow his friends, associates, co-workers, soldiers to just be getting mauled and killed off while he's laughing and joking and having fun over behind a piece of glass. If anything, the Rick Flag Sr. I remember from Creature Commandos would probably suit up himself and go into the dimensional doors with them. Even Rick Flag Jr. characterization wasn't like that. Rick Flag Jr., from what we saw of him in Suicide Squad and the Suicide Squad, would be the first person to go back and get somebody that he thought might have been trapped or lost, and he would be the first person to fight alongside them. So neither of the Rick Flags, from what we know about them, that's in their character to sit back and watch their associates just die on the battlefield and laugh and joke about it. I heard that critique, and I definitely agree with that. Like I said, I really like James Gunn's storytelling. I've been a fan of his for a long time. One of my favorite trilogies is the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy. I love those movies, actually. So, and I really thoroughly enjoyed the Suicide Squad. I enjoyed Creature Commandos. I enjoyed season 1 of Peacemaker, and I like season 2. He's setting up the DCU as a whole, and I think people have already forgotten that. He's setting up an interconnected world, so everything will not tie up in a pretty bow. Sometimes things will be continued in other shows or movies. That's just my opinion on season 2. I know, like I said, a lot of people, not even a lot of people, there's some people who disagree and there's some people who liked it as well. But I just wanted to say that because it hasn't been 2 weeks yet. It's been about a week and a half since the season 2 finale. And I just wanted to get my opinion on it. That was all. But yeah. And that's been your Monday Minute with Sage for October the 20th, 2025.